Stay with me, Saurav. We're also going to be joined by other leaders from the Business Today team. The most watched coverage right through the day on the Adani story as well as the budget. But we've got some breaking news coming in. Siddharth Zarabi, Managing Editor, Business Today TV, is also going to be with us in just a moment. Let's take you through the big breaking information that we have as we continue to bring this big story to you here late on Wednesday night. Sources inside the Adani Group have just spoken exclusively to Business Today, and here's what they've said. Sources inside the Adani Group to Business Today have said Gautam Adani stands by his investors and has withdrawn this follow-on public offer. Growth will continue, says Gautam Adani. He's confident of funding future growth, India's growth momentum to continue unhindered, says the chairman of Adani Enterprises. For Gautam Adani, investors are paramount, and this decision by the Adani Group basically insulates them from any potential financial losses by withdrawing the FPO. Gautam Adani says withdrawal will not impact existing operations and future plans, and the group will be focusing on long-term value creation. Is what we're being told at this point of time. I want to go across to Anand Adhikari, Managing Editor, Business Today magazine, who's also with us. Anand, we've just read out to our viewers, those breaking pieces of information that we're getting from inside sources in the Adani Group. We were talking about damage control and how this is a damage control measure as far as Adani Enterprises is concerned. But Anand, my question is, how much damage does this do in the immediate term, to sort of stave off the larger damage that the Adani Group is clearly trying to avoid?
The big, the fluctuation in the price, the FPO, was offered at, 300, 112 rupees. Now it has gone down to 2,128 rupees. Almost even today, we have seen a fall of almost, 28%. And, the decision, like the Adani Group has said, that will not impact, the existing operation and the future plans. But they have big plans, in the roads, airport, green hydrogen, data center. So this Adani Enterprises is like an incubator. And there were like 5 or 6, new businesses which they were funding. And they all are like, capital guzzler. If you look at roads, if you look at airports, green hydrogen, data center, and I'm sure, the expansion plan in these businesses will get impacted.
Saurabh, coming back to you on that, the repeated comment coming in from the Adani Group is that this is in investor interest. This has been taken, from a moral standpoint in order to protect, investor interest, etc. What do investors need to know right now? Because, clearly investing is not an easy thing for people to do. Institutions and individuals have invested. So what do they need to look out for now? Because this statement from the Adani Group says, they're looking at fund managers about, returning all those funds over the next few days. But what should we be telling investors at this point, Saurabh?
Yes, Shiv, that's a very important point you raised. Earlier in the day, during the course of the day when the bloodbath was actually happening in the Adani pack, we were discussing how, the hordes of new investors who have come into the market over the last couple of years are actually sort of witnessing this kind of thing for the first time, perhaps. This kind of bloodbath in a large group, one of the country's largest and storied groups. So, there is a lot more at stake, like I said. I think what needs to be done now, and I think he's done the right thing by calling it off, because a further rout in the stocks would have really dented the investor confidence of the people who have already invested in the FPOs. And as I said, these are large investors, these are big investors who have put in their money yesterday. And I think there is a lot more at stake than just the FPO. So what he's doing is he is trying to tell the shareholders, look, we have our plan. Not the end of the road. It's not the be all and end all. If it is called off, we will come back to you at some other point. But at this point, we are here to protect your money. You take back your money. We have our growth plans in place. And remember, the questions swirling around, some of the allegations also are, continue to haunt the markets and continue to haunt the Adani pack. Even today, there was an action by Credit Suisse, which was again the real cause for today's bloodbath, really. So there are questions, there are doubts which the group needs to address. And I think it's the right call in terms of giving back the money at this point, concentrating on engaging with shareholders, engaging with large global shareholders, and telling them the real story. What exactly is the plan? What are the charges about, and how they are going to take them on? That is, I think, the priority right now. So the FPO was really not the most important thing, and I think Mr. Adani has done the right thing by calling the FPO off. It's a very bold move, like I said. It's a brave move, bold move. One, I think that should try and be the first step, probably, in restoring some of the pride back to the Adani Group. This was an important move and needed to be done.
Saurabh, that leads straight into my next question to you. Is Gautam Adani going to come in for praise as a result of this move? Is he coming across smelling of roses after taking this decision? He says it was a moral decision. It was an investor interest. So is he going to come in for praise for taking this decision?
Well, that's difficult to say, Shiv, because the questions continue to, some of the questions will be needed to be answered. But that the fact of the matter is definitely that he will be praised for the boldness of the move, for sure, among sections of the market. But at the same time, more than, is him coming smelling of roses, I think it was also a practical move. Like I said, this group does not need to now have another set of large shareholders suffering further losses. Let's be very clear. That is the critical aspect which needs to be protected. There is serious shareholder money, 20,000 crore of it, which needed to be protected, and that entire money, you cannot have further erosion of value in that. And that is probably likely, given the kind of volatility which the entire Adani pack and particularly Adani Enterprises has been facing. So it is a practical move for sure. It is a bold move, and one that will definitely, do well for Mr. Adani's personal image in some sections of the market for sure.